Welcome back to Sous Vide Everything, guys. Today I am doing steak à Poivre. I hope I'm saying that right. But the important thing is that it's an amazing sauce to go with your steak that is easy to do. I'm doing 3 different versions so we can find out which one is best so you can do it at home sous vide style. Check it out. Steak à Poivre or pepper steak is known here in the US as a French dish. It is a wonderful sauce steak that will make your mouth water. Traditionally, it's used with filet mignon, but you know I'll be using something way better. It has a heavy coat of coarse cracked peppercorn which gives you a nice crust. And the sauce is flambéed with cognac to balance out the rich flavor of the beef. And as I previously mentioned, today I'm going to be making 3 different versions for you to try. The traditional version, one with a twist, and one going all out. And I can't wait to find out which one is better so you can try them at home. So let's do it. Since we won't be using beef tenderloin, I'm using something way better. These are 35 days dry-aged chuck and ribeyes. And just like every dry-aged steak, the first thing to do is to remove all the pellicles. That's the outer crust that is formed throughout the dry aging process. Do not be cheap, make sure you remove all of it. And once I was done, I was left with beautiful steaks. The next thing to do is to season them. And for that, I use coarse salt and garlic powder. Since this is all about the peppercorns, I'll be adding it right before searing. But now that we have our beautiful steaks ready, all there's left to do is bag them up and get them ready for the water bath. I'll be cooking all of them at 135 degrees Fahrenheit in the same container for 2.5 hours. I got my beautiful steaks ready. They were all cooked at 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 2.5 hours. The only thing is that there's not a lot of juices in the bag. When you cook it in such low temperature and for a long time, not a lot of juices drawn out, which is what you want, right? You want the juices to be inside of the steak, not out. But in order to complement that, and I will be putting a little bit of beef stock. That way we have a good amount of sauce. But enough talking. Now I'm gonna make these amazing sauces. Check it out. Once removed from the bag, just like always, we gotta pat it dry. If not, you won't develop a nice crust. Talking about crust, it is time for the peppercorn. And you wanna keep it coarse. And for that, I use my pesto and mortar. After crushing them, this is what they look like. The important thing is not to make any powder. Keep them coarse. The next step is to sprinkle them on the steak and get them ready for the searing. I threw in a little bit of grapeseed oil and seared my steaks. Since these steaks are dry aged, I'm only searing 1 minute per side. As you can see, I was left with a beautiful crust. One of the most important things about this dish is the fun that is left from the pan. That's what's gonna make your sauce amazing. And in order to deglaze it, I threw in a little bit of cognac. To burn off the alcohol, I lit it on fire. That is not necessary, but it does make it look good. Once the pan has been deglazed, throw in the juices of the bag, and if it's not enough, add some beef stock. Mix everything well and combine all the ingredients. To finish it off this traditional version, I added a little bit of heavy cream, bring it to a light simmer, and emulsified some cold butter. Now all there's left to do is to slice up my steak and pour my sauce. Now it's time for the second one, and I started off by putting a nice beautiful sear. Remember, a steak without a sear is not good. Make sure you get a nice crust. That golden brown rich color is always what we're looking for. The next thing to do is to deglaze the pan, and for that I use my bourbon. Make sure you burn all the alcohol off. Then we threw in the juices from the bag, followed by a little bit of beef stock, mixed everything well, and to make this sauce a little bit different, I added Dijon mustard. Not only will it add an amazing flavor to my sauce, but it's also a great emulsifier. Make sure you mix everything well and combine all the ingredients together. To finish it off, I added heavy cream, let it come to a light simmer, and cold butter to emulsify together. And as you can see, I was left with a perfect consistency of a sauce. But now that it's all done, all there's left to do is to slice up my steak and serve that beautiful sauce. Check it out. Our very last steak starts off the same exact way. Make sure to get that wonderful and beautiful crust. And only if you want a nice show, light up the fireworks. But that's really not necessary. By letting it simmer, the alcohol will automatically burn off. Then I threw in some beef broth. And remember, exact amount and ingredients always in the description down below. To finish this one off, I threw in some thyme, shallots, and mixed it well to make sure all my fun was removed from the pan. If you have any extra juices from the bag, make sure you throw it in. Mix everything well and make sure that that pan is completely clean on the bottom. You don't want to let that goodness go to waste. Then throw in a little bit of lime juice and let the sauce reduce. Don't let it go too far, if not you won't have any left. Right when you're about this stage here, as you can see, it's nice and thick. Finish it off by throwing a little bit of heavy cream. Mix it well and combine all the ingredients together. Keep it under medium-low heat, and once it starts to simmer, finish it off with some cold butter. Make sure to mix the butter throughout the entire sauce. That way it will emulsify nicely. And once I was done with this fancy version, all there was left to do is to cut up my steak and serve it with the sauce. For the final steak, I am not going to be making any sauce. Since this one is going to be the control, I really want to taste the differences between sauces and no sauces and let you know which way is best. Alright everybody, here we have our beautiful steaks. What do you think, Mama?
They look amazing.
Is that enough for you?
Yes.
We have a lot of people in the house today, everybody, so it was a perfect time for me to run this experiment.
Well, now it's not enough anymore.
Alright, so we have this amazing sauce, yeah?
All right.
It's a pepper sauce. It's called steak à Poivre. I hope I'm saying that. I know they're gonna kill.
We don't speak French, guys. Listen, we speak English, Portuguese, and a smitter Spanish.
Yes, that's it. And
We're stretching with the French over there. Give us a break, please.
so don't kill me too much on the comment section, yeah? It's steak à Poivre.
I think it's.
I think that's
I think.
All right, so to have a nice base for us to try, we're gonna try this one, which is a beautiful dry-aged steak, so we can see how much better it is with the sauce, yeah?
All right, that one is just plain.
Plain steak. Let's go for it, Omazi.
Do it.
Perfectly medium rare, as expected with Sous Vide. Now, this is a dry-aged steak, everybody.
So it's gotta be amazing.
Call me biased, but I just love dry-aged steak.
It's gonna be amazing. I don't even have to try. It's amazing. That's it.
Yeah, I know, right? It is super tender, and when you're cutting it, you can feel it. Cheers, everybody.
Wow.
I rest my case because it is so tender. It is so juicy. It is that umami flavor that I enjoy. What do you think, Mamazi?
That crust on this. Mm-hmm. Wow. This is like better than the Miller reaction text that we did.
You think so?
Yeah. Like there's a
Because
very
of
pronounced crust on here.
that's because of the dry aginess. I don't even know if that's a word. Dry aging. You got some pepper?
I got some pepper here.
That's the thing with this steak. So instead of grinding them fine, you gotta keep it kind of
it's like
coarse. Normally I sear all my steaks for 2 minutes, but because it's drier and it has less moisture content, it sears only for 1 minute. All right, so let's try the very first one, yeah? The first one is a little bit more traditional and normally what most people do. Go for it.
All right.
Cheers, everybody. Oh, I enjoy that sauce.
I like that sauce. Does it have mushroom?
No.
It has something kind of like remind me of the mushroom flavor.
The juices from the bag. It has juices from the bag, and it also has a little bit of bourbon, so burn out the bourbon.
Oh, maybe that's what's throwing me out for a loop over there.
The bourbon?
Yeah, that's very nice.
I love it. And the little coarse pepper, you get to bite it in the end. So right after you taste that amazing sauce, there's a little in the end, right? It's like a little I'm there for you. Let's go for the number C, Mama. You ready?
Number C, let's do it.
Number C, okay. All right, number C. Cheers, everybody.
Oh,
that's so wonderful.
wow. Ooh, I really like the sauce.
It's so much better for me.
Wow, it's similar to the first one, but there's something like a little bit more of a
More refined.
yeah. It's hard to explain. It's like it has a little bow on top of the gift that is that taste.
There you go. Do you notice that it's a little creamier, or is it me? It seems to be creamier.
Yeah, it felt a little creamier.
Like the texture of the actual sauce is like smoother, creamier.
It was like a little creamier and a little bit more tart.
They're more tart.
So,
Good job, Mama. Give me a pound right there. This one here has Dijon mustard. That's why you're feeling that. This one doesn't.
That's the only difference?
That's the only difference, pretty much. Right?
That makes a big difference.
It does makes a difference, and I actually prefer it better.
I prefer the third one better.
If you are thinking that you taste the Dijon mustard, not really. It just complements it. It makes it better. But if you don't like mustard, put it anyway. It's amazing. Do you feel the mustard, that it's mustard?
No, I don't.
You can't. Now, this one, you ready for that one?
Should I be ready?
You see where it's going,
I
right?
know you. I know you. There's something wrong with that one, isn't there?
There is some candies in there, some crazy stuff. Last one.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Ooh, completely different.
You throw some herbs in there.
Yes.
Wow.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Some thyme.
Is this the same one as this one with thyme, or
It has a lot more things.
a lot more things?
A lot more things. That
Okay.
one is the one that was like, I'm going to show you how to do it right. I'm going to put as many flavors as I can. It has about 3 or 4 more ingredients more than the other ones. That's why it is more flavorful, but
A lot more flavorful.
it is completely different than the other two. Would you agree?
Hold on, I have to try it again.
Mama, I gotta try it again, everybody.
You know what? Make this one. This one is the champion.
What do you now you pick.
Yes.
This
no,
one.
No, I'm telling you to do this one and get the good stuff from this one and add on that one. So that one is the winner.
I think because it's the real taste of the Poivre, au Poivre sauce. I hope I'm saying that right. It's the real taste. The other one is just a big, bold flavors. Yeah.
This one is excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that is it, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of our wonderful steak. Make this sauce. It is easy to make. Make sure you burn off the alcohol. Use the juices from the bag. It adds an additional flavor. Obviously, the juices are so little because you're cooking at low temperature. You're not gonna have a lot of juices. Just complement it with beef broth or bone broth to make more sauce. Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in anything I use, everything is always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Remember, well done is a crime.
Well done is a crime. See you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.